12:47 right now. As previously mentioned, I will check in. I was meant to check in around 1:30 once NY Cash Desk opens. However, the move has been fulfilled before NY Cash Desk. We do also have 8:30, which is where London Delta is printed. I posted a case study for all of you to have a look. A case study for today. Sell side liquidation available. Okay. Delta confirms the availability. Now, what we can do here, my friends, is we can remove this because we took the initial move. Okay. It's all, as mentioned earlier, it's all about allowing the market to upload the truth. Asia high remains protective. Okay. Not anymore. Not anymore. The downside discovery has been printed. Breach 1. The current candle is acting as breach 2. The main importance over here is that price action needs to return, okay, into 4392 and then prevail higher. Only then the raid will happen. Okay, so this is exactly where the case studies come extremely handy, because look, what's the number one problem in the entire industry? Stop loss issue. Okay, I've got the solution, and the solution lies inside the handle. I'll leave the link below or wherever. So, and look, when we look at the volatility index, earlier on I did say 46 and above, gold's gonna get volatile. Okay, the higher the volatility index, the more expanded pip ranges are going to be on a session basis. Okay, and that's how you measure market conditions. For those that have been wondering, there's a big issue in the market, where not issue in the market, but there's a big gap, especially for a lot of traders out there who can't seem to figure out how to measure market conditions. If a session has fluctuated 1,200 pips, how do I know? How do I know that the current session is not gonna puke 1,000 pips, but instead it's gonna puke 700? All of that comes down to the CVOL volatility index. If you look over here, timing at the bottoms. Early hours in the morning, 8 a.m. This is Eastern time, 8 a.m. Gold was sitting at 48, extremely volatile. Okay, Delta printed. Delta was printed at 8:30, and we can see that the volatility index has initially marked its position. Okay, that's exactly what happened. Asia high remained Asia high was initially protecting further sessions moving onwards, because the discovery was pending in order for price to raid Asia high, as mentioned at the start of the recording. So if you did miss that out, go back and just feel free to pause, make some notes. Even the previous recordings that I have uploaded, if you look at the finite sheer accuracy when it comes down to understanding, London low remains protective, New York high remains protective, Asia high remains protective. Any pushes above, as long as you're tracking the breaches, first low, session first low sits at 8:15, 8:30. Line the crosshair up. When you line the crosshair up, you got that breach 1 and breach 2. Okay, this is session's first high, extremely responsive. When you combine that with the volatility index, and especially when the CVOL is rising 40, 46, 48 and above, it gives you a general idea, okay, that the market is going to get volatile. And this move alone was a 600 pip move push. Okay, so that was a 600 pips move, and this is exactly where we were. As you can see, it's kept stops above Asia high, and then so it's all about timing. It did hold the overall delivery to the downside. Exposure has now been banked and closed. We're moving on to the overall delta play now. So we have sell side liquidity, okay, available. As mentioned over here in the case study, price must revisit the delta zone once discovery is complete. Now, discovery will only be complete once PA returns to the delta. I'm not going to go into the overall details and the finer workings behind when the discovery window closes, how and why. But what I can tell you publicly is that if you wait for PA price action to return to the delta low, 1 2 push, okay, that's a 500 pip move, okay. And if we keep an eye on the gold volatility index, we can see that it's starting to rise. 41, it's starting to rise, okay. And that's exactly what we need. Gold volatility index needs to rise above 40s to be able to push 700-800 pips per session. And this is the CVOL relationship notes. You're more than happy to take a picture, make a note, whatever it may be. I'm here to help you and I'm here to assist you, okay. I have the solution. I have the overall solution when it comes down to understanding session mechanics, how liquidity is engineered from session to session. Why am I just sitting on the current session? Because once you've mapped out in the morning, okay, once you've mapped out London, New York, and Asia, you don't have to, start working around your decision framework while you're working around the execution framework. You want to keep your execution framework separate and your decision framework separate. Okay, so in the morning, what you must do in the morning is debrief yourself. Okay, map out the previous 3-4 sessions. When you've mapped out the previous 3-4 sessions, look at which levels are protected and which levels are open. Okay, I can't go into as much details and explain which levels are protected and not protected. All of that is just primarily shared privately, and I'm more than happy to help you if you would like to know which levels on a session basis will protect further price action. Just shoot me a message and I'll take care of you. Apart from that, NY Cash Desk opens at 1300. Okay, timing is important. You need to make sure you time every single candle. Okay, it's not about leaving 1 2 3. It's about tracking every candle. Take it from me. Okay, take it from me. I'm telling you right now, when you implement the footprint charts, okay, you're tracking all the imbalances. You're tracking bids, ask, delta volume. You're tracking market profile, TPO. Okay, when you start mapping out all of this at a on a professional level, you start to have different lenses. Everything becomes cleaner. My charts are clean. There's no indicators of it. It's just neat. Okay, what I've done is I've just segregated the overall price action into 3 sessions. That's what I've done. And I've neuroengineered the overall market patterns based off the specific colors I'm using over here. So that's all I can share at the moment, freely. And if this helps you, God bless you. If it doesn't, then we can work together and I can allow you to see. Okay, and like I said, I'll leave all of this. Got so many case studies which I post on a daily basis. Delta supporting activity. It's not the driver. Okay, it's the location marker. When you understand the location marker, what happens is that it changes the overall exposure management. You don't necessarily have to chase every single move. Just wait for PA to return to that location marker. If it doesn't, you've saved yourself a lot of money. If it does, you can engage. So I'm gonna leave it there, my friends. Yeah, have a lovely Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to all of you, and yeah, stay safe in the markets.